What's up, curious youngsters? After years and years of watching hundreds of documentaries, TV shows, and millions of images and videos on the internet, there are still things that always surprise us. Maybe it's because there are more than 7 billion of us, and with immediate access to the internet, we can literally come across anything at any time. Even if you think you've seen everything, there are always new things, and that's what Señor Curiosity is for. Here are 20 things you'll see for the first time in your life. We know that all plant species, no matter how huge they are, come from a small seed. And in the following video, we can see this process up close thanks to an amazing time-lapse filmed over an entire year. In these images, we can observe the germination and growth of a dandelion plant. As we can see, the dandelion sprouts and grows slowly until it produces flowers, and its famous seeds grouped in a fluffy circle. The larvae of butterflies or moths can undergo an amazing metamorphosis and become flying insects. But while they are as caterpillars, they are quite fragile, and that's why they have different tactics to defend themselves from predators. One of the most striking is shown in the following images of a nocturnal caterpillar species. As we can see, if this creature feels threatened, it reacts by waving some extensions of its antennae, which serves to surprise and scare off the creature stalking it. That really is so strange, Mother Nature. We know that not all countries have the same economy. And in cases like, for example, the United States, this is evident in the enormous budgets they have for the military sector. And did you know that a helmet like this can cost up to $400,000? It's mainly made of carbon fiber and has screens everywhere. This technological advancement allows the lucky F-35 pilots not only to communicate, but also to be protected inside their aircraft. But it also has internal screens and all kinds of sensors that allow the pilot to easily see everything happening around them without having to move their head. When we talk about compost, we're talking about worms. These invertebrates are the best allies for breaking down organic waste and producing new soil, and in the next video, we'll see them in action. In these images, we see a group of red worms moving through the container until they find the spot where the new food scraps are, and as we can see, they managed to completely process the compost bin's waste in just over a month. Many scientific experiments that we can do at home are quite old, but they are still fascinating. For example, the creation of Epsom salts. And in the following video, we will see how this reaction between magnesium sulfate and hot water takes place over the course of an entire day. As we can see, as the water evaporates, salt crystals begin to appear, taking on striking shapes. And one of the most well-known uses of this product that forms is to use it in relaxing immersion baths, as it helps to soothe muscle pain. Some characters from video games or novels go beyond fiction and have real fans all over the world. For example, this blacksmith, who in the next video shows us how he forged the helmet of Imlerith, the powerful warrior from The Witcher 3. In these images, we see the step-by-step process of building the helmet at full scale, using techniques similar to those used in the Middle Ages to make armor. And thanks to these ancient techniques, he achieved this excellent final result with a level of detail close to perfection. Well done, my friend. Many landscapes around the world look like they're from another planet, and the one we're about to see in the next video is no exception. These images were recorded in Puga Valley in Ladakh, India. This area features a curious terrain resembling a strange golf course. What's interesting is that it has hot springs among the little green hills on the ground, and that's why it has great potential for geothermal energy. It also has large deposits of sulfur and minerals like borax. One of the hardest things to do well is to drive a truck with a trailer, since mastering such a big and long vehicle requires hours and hours of practice. That's precisely why they have a high risk of accidents like the one we'll see in the following video. This footage was filmed in Texas, in the United States, and shows us a huge truck that got completely stuck at a railroad crossing. Although no one was injured despite the driver's efforts, the train still destroyed the truck's entire load. Nowadays, farming has all kinds of tools to grow and harvest food, which are gradually replacing manual labor. And one of the newest is this weeding robot we see in the video, which operates completely autonomously. The machine uses a technology with 8 lasers that work simultaneously. destroying all unwanted weeds in the crops using heat. And that's why we also see those hypnotic sparks, which allow it to eliminate more than 100,000 weeds per hour. When we think of a bat, we often mistakenly associate it with animals that feed on blood. But the truth is that most species only feed on insects and fruit. A good example of this is the adorable baby bat we're seeing in the video, which had been recently rescued, and apparently, since it was very hungry, when they brought a banana close to it, it tried to eat it in one bite. Oh, how cute. Some people don't enjoy going camping since the experience is a bit uncomfortable for them. But as we'll see in the next video, the more adventurous ones not only choose to sleep in a tent, but they take it to the next level. This type of camping is definitely not for everyone, since as we can see, it's set up several meters above the ground in hanging hammocks among the mountains of the province of Reggio, Italy. Even if it's not the most comfortable place to sleep, the views are truly unique. In the animal kingdom, the young are usually quite dependent on their mothers, although there are exceptions. For example, in the jacana bird family, the male incubates the eggs, cares for the chicks, and even carries them in a unique way. What we're seeing isn't a bird with several pairs of legs, but rather a father with several chicks traveling under his wings. This practical method helps him move faster across floating plants in his wetland home, letting him get food and protect chicks from predators at once. One of the regions with the greatest biodiversity in the world is the island of Madagascar, which, in addition to having thousands of animal species, is also home to numerous insects. And many of them look as incredible as these tiny creatures we see in the images. These insects are flattids in their nymph stage, and as we can see, they have filaments that resemble white thread or wool. These waxy filaments help them blend perfectly with the lichens on the trees. But if something approaches and they feel threatened, they jump to avoid danger with a force equivalent to 700 times their own weight. If we think of a mollusk, a soft-bodied and rather fragile creature surely comes to mind. But the truth is that these animals have several tricks up their sleeve, and one of them is having hundreds of very powerful teeth inside. We find an excellent example of this in the following video, featuring a species of mollusk discovered in 2019. As we can see, this amazing invertebrate lives inside burrows within the limestone in the Bataan River in the Philippines. And not only is it capable of burrowing into the stone, but it also feeds on it, which makes it so far the only living being capable of ingesting solid rock. Dark tourism is becoming more and more popular, and in almost every country we can find ideal places to visit these kinds of attractions. And if, for example, you were wondering what it would be like to walk through an old, abandoned prison, you should watch this video. As we can see, this prison in Ecuador remains exactly the same as when it was closed down in 2014. Nowadays, it's a space that's used as a museum, and some people who were there say that paranormal things happen in its cells. That's so scary. Watching a building being demolished is always interesting, but seeing several go down at once is truly spectacular.
Y este fue el caso de un complejo de 15 torres que estaban...
In the city of Kunming, in southern China, these had been abandoned for 7 years, and their basements were completely flooded, which, along with other reasons, led the authorities to decide to demolish them all at the same time. When we go camping, one of the biggest challenges we face is being able to cook outdoors. And thinking about this, a YouTuber decided to share how you can cook an egg without a pot, water, or anything complicated, simply using what you find in nature. As we can see, his technique is to make 2 small holes in the eggshell very carefully, so that by inserting 2 thin sticks into these holes, we can place it over the fire, and in a few minutes, it will be ready to eat. If we think of a tree house, we probably imagine a small wooden shelter a few meters above the ground, but that's not always the case, and in the following video, we'll see a perfect example. What we're seeing is a very special treehouse which was built across several elevated living spaces. This incredible place works perfectly as a home, since it has all the luxuries and comforts, and at the same time allows us to enjoy the beautiful forest outside, both day and night. Also, as we can see, it has a pulley system to go up in comfortable chairs, hanging bridges, stairs, and even a zip line that connects one part of the house to another. We know that young children don't usually eat a wide variety of foods, and sometimes it can be difficult to get them to try new foods. That's why an Australian mom came up with this idea to encourage them. As we see in the video, she prepares food with healthy ingredients, but the presentation of the dishes is in the shape of her son's favorite animated characters. In this clever way, she achieves her goal and also creates beautiful pieces of temporary art. Great job, ma'am! One of the most fascinating sea creatures is the arthropod, known as the horseshoe crab. These creatures have inhabited our planet for more than 200 million years, and that's why they are considered living fossils. If you're curious about how they look before birth, watch the video below. As we can see, horseshoe crab eggs are very small, about the size of a pea. And as the embryos grow, you can see how they move since they're inside translucent capsules. And when they finally hatch, they're still tiny, but only for a while, since some species can grow up to 50 centimeters in length once they're adults. Thank you for